Hello friends, Koolio here, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step guide on how you can play EXOS Heroes right now in English. Now this guide actually comes from the EXOS Heroes global Facebook group, who was able to find out that almost 90% of the text in the game right now is actually already translated in English. There's just a couple of things that you need to do in order to tweak the settings to be able to access the English files. Now this is probably because the developers are planning on globally releasing the game very soon. Now I do want to give you guys a little bit of a warning. There are a couple of different steps that you need to do in order to get this to work, a couple of apps you have to download, and some file tweaking in order to get all this stuff set up. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is to have an emulator or a Android device that is rooted. Now I am currently using LD Player. It has a basic function where you can go in and turn on rooted permission. So I'm currently using LD Player in order for this to work. The next thing you're going to need to use is a VPN in order to install and update EXOS Heroes. Obviously you're going to need EXOS Heroes, and then you're going to need a file manager in order to get into the files that we need in order to tweak them and change their settings. Now, I will have a download link down below for all three that I am currently using today. Now I am currently connected to South Korea using Solo VPN. You are going to need that in order to download and update EXOS Heroes. So I currently have EXOS Heroes completely updated, downloaded, and ready to go. The next thing you're going to want to do is now head into your exploration app to go into the files that you need in order to change the settings. So what you're going to do is head on over to the root permissions, scroll on down to data, scroll down to data one more time, and then we're going to scroll all the way down until we can find in the L's, it's going to take a second, where is it? com.linegames.exos. Go ahead and click on that. And then at the very bottom, we're going to find shared preferences. Click on the shared preferences folder and then scroll down again until you find a file that says com.linegames.exos.v2.player preferences. Go ahead and click on that. It's going to open up the file. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is head on over to the top right and click on this button so that we can now go in and actually edit the text. Now this is where things are going to get a little bit complicated. Just make sure that you change the actual text in the right spot. The first thing you're going to want to find is the section that says string names equal language Korean string. Go here and change Korean so now that it says English. Okay, make sure that you're not changing anything else except for Korean into English. The next thing you're going to want to do is scroll down a little bit until you find the next set where it says string name text language Korean. Go ahead and change that so it's going to say English. Once you've changed both of those settings, go ahead and hit save, and then we can now head on back to the home page. Being connected to the VPN, we can now go ahead and open up EXOS Heroes. Now, if you've done this correctly, once the game loads up, you'll be able to see down here at the center, it's going to say the game is now connecting to the server. So let's go ahead and see if this works. So we got Lion Games, it's loading up the game, Uzu, here we go, and then we should be able to tell, yep, right there. So if it says connecting to server, it means you've been able to successfully change the text in the game into English. Now we're actually going to go ahead and jump into the game in just a second so I can show you guys kind of what it looks like. Now, in order to actually log in and get into the game as well as do any kind of updates or downloads while the game is currently live, you are going to be needing to connect to a VPN. However, once you've logged into the game, there's no more updates, everything's good to go. You can actually go ahead and disconnect from the VPN and then just use your regular services. So here we go. We're going to jump into the game and I can kind of show you guys what it looks like. So here's my main team. Now again, not everything is going to be translated into English. Most of the stuff that you're going to need right now in order to play the game will be translated into English. You can see the quest text is changed into English. The UI is changed into English. A lot of the stuff here off to the side, the world, as well as the menu system is all now changed into English. You can even go into settings and check out the different login informations, the game settings. You can see we are now currently selected in the English language. However, there are a couple of things right now that aren't fully translated into English and might have a couple of graphical issues. You can see right here it says UI label setting system on off. Even some of the graphic stuff is kind of squished. Some of the text is kind of missing here and there. Even in the UI itself here on the main menu, you can see some of the stuff for like the gacha and stuff isn't really translated all the way. In fact, some of the stuff when you're playing through like the main storyline, some of the characters' dialogue is translated into English. but not all of it. So there may be a few times here and there where some stuff is still in Korean. But most of the things that you're going to need if you want to play this game in English right now will be in English. So we've got one of the main characters I currently have right here. You can see auto equip, level up, enhancements, transcendence. You can even go ahead and zoom in on the characters' skill previews, their hero's story. You can even see what their full name is. This is honestly really impressive, and obviously the developers are, not really fully set on having the game in English, but it is pretty cool to see how much of the game is currently available in English for us to play. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I will probably have a video coming out very soon where I'm actually going to go through and play the game a lot more, be able to learn more about all the individual systems, and come out with a English video for the game, talk about the game and stuff, and as we kind of prepare and hopefully kind of cross our fingers that Global is going to be coming out really soon. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, a like would be super appreciated, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date in the latest in mobile gaming. Okay, friends, I'll see you next time.